Hi everyone, it's RT here again with the pink hair, here to bring you yet another video. In this video, we're going to go in depth into the initial laning phase and how you can master any lane by practicing 2v2, 2v3 and 3v3 situations with your team. This is a follow-up to my previous one, so if you've not seen it yet, do click the link here to have a watch. So the first thing you need to think about in a 2v2 situation is the initial clear. Depending on your choice of Pokemon, you can choose to clear everything or leave some for later. What you might want to consider is whether you have sufficient burst or AoE damage early to do the full entire clear. If not, it might be better to go for more strategic positioning for the spawns in lane. In this example, the combination of Lucario and Slowbro is incredibly strong in the early game, with Quick Attack and Water Gun allowing it to be cleared relatively easily. Another thing to consider is how you want to split the EXP at this point. In most cases, a 4-4 is quite balanced and will assure both laners get the level 3 in time to contest for the spawns. Of course, different strategies work as well. If you want to funnel your laner, then 8-0 with EXP share might make some sense. Play around and explore different options and see what works for you. Next, after doing the initial clear, what is important is then the pathing. Some of the questions you want to ask yourself for this portion would be, are you playing stacking items? You need to be making multiple small dunks, or are you playing support? In this case here, by being a bit too greedy, I do go down, and this follows what Wraith from Team Orangutan says as well. Sometimes you don't want to be stacking so much because, you are forcing your lane into a 1v2 or 2v3 situation, especially for the combis or now the Swablues. Next in line, we have last hitting. This is incredibly important as it directly translates to your team getting an advantage in the early game. Not only does it provide you EXP, it also provides you stacks and possibly key levels as well. Especially in lane where everyone is contesting for the same farm, patience and communication goes a long way. By timing and keeping your burst skill up for the last hit, you increase your team's chances of getting it. Knowing the thresholds of your team's Pokemon as well as the ones on the other side will be crucial in you getting the last hit, EXP, and points that could turn the game right from the get-go. And of course, the next natural progression once you have finished playing with the 2v2 is to do either a 2v3 or 3v3 situation. In these games, what you want to focus on is the central area Pokemon's rotation. Are you able to adapt to it? And do you know what to do in that situation? In this case, we do have this Sylveon going in for an early rotation, and me being a little bit greedy misses the last hit, and this puts me in a really dangerous position. So of course, you guys will need to know how to adapt to all this kind of situation, what to do when it is kind of early rotation or if it's a normal rotation. So in the case of what we saw just now, because I was a little bit too greedy and the rotation came in early, he just needed its level 4 to come up top and get its power spike. So it was probably a better idea to actually play safer and hit back first instead of giving them too much EXP. In the case of a standard rotation, it really depends on who it is. If you are melee, I would say it is time for you to back off or even back off earlier. So knowing the timing of which rotate is extremely important in this case. I hope that the practice is useful and do share in the comments below whether or not it has been helpful, and if you have other ideas, do share it in the comments as well. That's about it, so I'll see you in the next video.